Today on Time About the Movies, Milla Jovovich is back as Alice as she once again is going after the Umbrella Corporation in the fourth installment of Resident Evil Afterlife in 3D. I'm going to keep doing that with every 3D movie from this point going forward. But we also have Joaquin Phoenix starring in a documentary, if you want to even call it that, about the time he went crazy and had no idea. Nobody had any idea what the hell he was doing. Crazy might be an understatement, but yeah, it was definitely a very odd time for him. And it's made into a documentary directed by Casey Affleck. I'm Still Here. So 2 films to look at for the September 10, 2010. Time About the Movies coming up next.
They created her. They tried to stop her. They left her for dead.
Why am I not surprised?
But on September 10th,
Don't even think about it.
Alice
Let's get revenge on Umbrella.
is back in 3D.
Is that any way to treat a lady?
Resident Evil Afterlife in 3D. Rated R in Real D 3D and IMAX 3D.
That is one crazy son of a...
No, but that is how you should treat actresses who can't take the hit, that you're not threatening whatsoever as an action heroine, or somebody who can go up against zombies like these movies. But when you're fucking the director, that's pretty much it. You pretty much have free range to do whatever you want, apparently. But happy Independence Day, everybody, and welcome to Time About the Movies. This is being recorded on 4th of July, 2025, and I wish we had a better week to celebrate with, but no. 2 movies this week. Neither one of them really are that great, and especially if your biggest new release is Resident Evil Afterlife, then you know you're in deep shit, especially considering that Paul W.S. Anderson is back for this one after missing on the last 2 movies, so yeah, you get what you get here. Once again, Milla Jovovich's Alice searching for and rescuing the remaining survivors in Los Angeles after the T-virus outbreak, and teaming up against Albert Wesker, played by Sean Roberts, and the head of the Umbrella Corporation. Chris Redfield, played by Wentworth Miller, is featured for the first time in the franchise. Other characters from the last movies, as well as the game. Claire Redfield, played by Ali Larter, is back. And also Jill Valentine, who shows up in a cameo appearance, played by Sienna Guillory. But yeah, it's pretty much the other Resident Evil movies. These are movies that look like the games, but they don't feel like the games whatsoever. And boy, this one is one of the worst ones in the series, no question about it, because of just the fact that it's Paul W.S. Anderson back, and you know he literally only did this to show up, just to work with his wife, and basically do absolutely nothing of merit whatsoever. This movie has so many scenes in here where the film itself is literally giving you the middle finger if you think you're going in here expecting a good Resident Evil movie. For example, this scene. The first time I ever saw that scene, all I could think to myself is, this is the cinematic equivalent of somebody giving you the middle finger. If you think you're going in for something that's Resident Evil, you're not getting that in this movie, not whatsoever. Yeah, that's how bad this movie is. This is a terrible movie, and shockingly enough, this was not one of those post-production 3D hell movies, so I don't get to use my graphics once again for this one, even though I really wanted to, but yeah, no, they used the same cameras that James Cameron used for Avatar, and the fact that they used it for this, and this is the best they could come up with, James Cameron should have just beat the shit out of him after this, because, yeah, this is a terrible movie. This is a really, really bad film. There's way too many slow motion scenes in here. Like, you're not only ripping off Avatar, but you're also ripping off 300, of all things. It's just like with the slow motion, it's just like they're padding out the running time here. This thing's not even just a little over 90 minutes long, and you waste so much of your goddamn time just waiting for something to happen in this movie. And no, it's the same movie over and over again. Milla Jovovich teams up with a bunch of mercenaries, and they go around shooting zombies. That's it. That's the entire movie. There's nothing of value to this whatsoever. There's nothing of merit to it. There's nothing there. The only thing you can hope for now is the fact that, the Zack Cregger Resident Evil movie is coming out, and we've seen what this guy can do with Barbarian. Weapons is looking pretty good, so one can only hope that we are literally heading to a much better Resident Evil series in general with somebody who knows what he's doing. We hope. We hope that that's the case. We can get these god-awful movies out of our mindset and actually focus on making good video game movies with the Resident Evil series for once. But yeah, what more are you to say? Resident Evil Afterlife, these movies just need to stay dead already. But unfortunately, we've got 2 more movies after this one. Actually, 3 if you count Welcome to Raccoon City. Which, prove that you don't need W.S. Anderson or Mila Jovovich to completely ruin a Resident Evil film in general. You just need a really bad movie, probably written by the studio. So anyway, that's Resident Evil Afterlife. So let's go ahead and move on to the more intriguing and more interesting of the 2 movies we have here. I'm Still Here, starring Joaquin Phoenix, as you've never seen him before.
That's you. Drop some water, and you're on top of the mountain. A success. But one day you start sliding down the mountain, and you think, wait a minute. I'm a mountaintop water drop. I don't belong in this valley, this river, this low dark ocean with all these drops of water. Then one day it gets hot, and you slowly evaporate into air, way up, higher than any mountaintop, all the way to the heavens. Then you understand that it was at your lowest that you were closest to God. Life's a journey that goes round and round, and the end is closest to the beginning. So what's change you need? Relish the journey.
Now, remember when David Letterman had Joaquin Phoenix on the show and Joaquin Phoenix had no idea what the hell he was doing?
And, Joaquin, I'm sorry you couldn't be here tonight.
That was all for this. I hope it was worth it. Yeah, this is a mockumentary, if you will, which takes place in 2008, and while rehearsing for a charity event, actor Joaquin Phoenix, with Casey Affleck's camera filming, tells people he's quitting acting to pursue a career in rap music. Over the next year, Phoenix writes, rehearses, and performs to an audience. He approaches Sean Puffy Combs, which, yeah, another movie in 2010 that has been completely is aged like fine wine, I'll tell you that much. But in hopes he will produce the record, we see Phoenix in his home. He parties, smokes, engages in depravity with his 2-man entourage, debating philosophy with Affleck, and rants about celebrity. You also have Mos Def, Ben Stiller, Edward James Olmos, Jamie Foxx, Billy Crystal, Jack Nicholson, Danny DeVito, Bruce Willis, Robin Wright, Hugh Grant, Natalie Portman, Sean Penn, Matthew Maurer, Tim Affleck, among here involved in this documentary. And it was supposed to. It's considered a mockumentary, but the fact that the events of the film had been deliberately staged was not disclosed until after the film had been released. So people thought it was a real documentary before this actually was later revealed to be a mockumentary. And yeah, it's not great. It makes no sense whatsoever. None of this makes any sense whatsoever. We don't get a real reason why Joaquin Phoenix has just decided to give up his acting career and just go into a world of music. Never really get a good explanation of it. We never get the purpose of it. Like, why are we even here? Like, what's the purpose of this? Oh, so we can talk about what it means to be a celebrity, like the way they want to say it here. And hey, we get to say, hey, let's do it while we smoke cocaine. Call call girls, have sex. Treat our assistants like shit. Coincidentally, that actually led to Casey Affleck having one of 2 crew members from the movie actually sued Casey Affleck. One of them was the producer Amanda White, and that was later discussed with and that was later part of the Me Too movement. Well after Casey Affleck had won the Oscar for Manchester by the Sea, but was it 2017 or 2018? I could have sworn Manchester by the Sea came out in 2018. Came out in 2016, so he would have won it in 2017. So it would have been around that time in particular. But basically this movie does not hold up well at all. There's really no indication of what the hell anybody was really doing with this movie. It's just it's just so all over the place. It's just nothing about it makes any sense whatsoever. Like, why is Joaquin Phoenix doing this? Like, why? You never get the understanding of why he's decided to do this. What's supposed to be the overall end result of it? I mean, when you look at other mockumentaries, like the Jim Carrey documentary about him being Andy Kaufman when making Man on the Moon, that was also not that great, but at least it made more sense because he was doing the movie about Andy Kaufman, and it made sense for him to channel Andy Kaufman in his movies and thinking to himself, what would Andy do in this situation? Here, there's just nothing in here, man. This is just a movie that has no sense of what direction it's going, no sense of why we're even here. Like, it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work as a film. It's now even more eerie considering what has happened since then with Casey Affleck and of course with Sean Puffy Combs, of course. Again, the second movie this summer with him in a role where you really have to look at this and go like, wow, like how did nobody see this coming at all? Like 15 years later, but. Yeah, overall, this is just not a great movie. I mean, it's better than Resident Evil Afterlife. It's interesting just to see what this whole thing's about at first. But even then, when you come out of the movie, it's just like, what the hell was the point of all that? Nothing. Nothing came out of this that was worth it. And I feel like I just wasted my time. I feel like I wasted my hour and a half watching this, over an hour and a half. It just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. It's a fascinating one-time watch. But you're never going to want to watch this again after this. After you watch it, it just feels like, wow, you completely wasted my time. And I hope you never amount to anything of noteworthiness ever again. And of course, he turns his career around and wins an Oscar at the end of the decade for Joker. So, hey, it worked out for him in the end. But, yeah, this just isn't a good movie. I'm still here. I hope this isn't still here when it's down the road. And I have no idea how to end this. I just don't even know how to finish this up here. So let's just go ahead and wrap this sucker up already. That was an odd way to end this episode, I'll tell you that, but that's it for this episode of Time About the Movies. Now, the next time we meet, probably one of the more stacked shows we've had in a long time. 7 movies to take a look at, including Ben Affleck's follow-up to his directorial follow-up to Gone Baby Gone, The Town with Jeremy Renner and Blake Lively among the cast, Emma Stone starring alongside Amanda Bynes and also Ali Mashaka, as well as an all-star cast, including Stanley Tucci and Patricia Arquette in Easy A. The M. Night Shyamalan-produced Devil, directed by the guys who gave us Quarantine and the Poughkeepsie Tapes. Justin Long in another movie, providing one of the voices with Hayden Panettiere in Alpha and Omega, Lionsgate's continuing attempts to try to create a family film library and failing miserably. We also have the documentary that led to an MTV documentary series of its own right, Catfish. We also have Never Let Me Go and Jack Goes Boating. So 7 movies overall to look at. Going to be a stacked show next time around we meet. And, yeah, we'll take a look at those next time. But until then, thank you so much for watching this. If you found some enjoyment out of this episode, I hope you did. But if you did, and want to see more, there's that like button right there. There's a notification button. That's a notification button. That's the subscribe button. Please hit those there. And also don't forget to check out our playlist as well as the previous episode as well. And don't forget, coming up later tonight on Time About the Movies Flashback, we're flashing back to the beginning of March 1987, in which we have the first installment of the Lethal Weapon series, Mel Gibson and Danny Glover, directed by Richard Donner. We also have Angel Heart with Robert De Niro and Lisa Bonet in it, along with Mickey Rourke. And also Barry Levinson's Tin Man, one of his 2 films from 1987. So that's coming up later tonight, but until then, whether it's in the past, the present, or the future, I will see you at the movies. Take care.